Hello. Somebody say bananas in chat if you can see me and hear me. We've been having some high winds in my area lately, and it's doing funny things to the internet and YouTube. So if you can see me and hear me, please type bananas. We're going to start off with a lot of show and tell today, and then we'll go into some neurographic drawing. We're going to have fun. Oh, yeah, it's really choppy on the screen. Oh, that's not good at all. That is not good at all. It's very windy outside. Can we hear me? Hello, hello. Hi, Lygia. Somebody say bananas if you can see me and hear me. Bananas, bananas. I know there's a delay, so I'm going to wait a second. Somebody say bananas. We can hear you. Okay, cool. Hi, Jan. Hi, Rosemary. Bananas, bananas. Good. Okay, cool. I know it's very windy here tonight, so if the audio or the visual is choppy, please forgive me. And if it cuts out, please forgive me. Don't know how long we'll be on tonight, but we're shooting for about an hour and a half or so. So let's get started. Yeah, so I want to talk about my new stamps I have with PM Artist Studio. I think most people here know about PM Artist Studio. If not, this is them. They're a mother-daughter mother-daughter duo in Texas. The mother, Patricia, is a retired art teacher, and the daughter, Mariah, is a digital what's the word I'm thinking of? Digital artist? No. Graphic designer. Words are hard. Anyway, you can screenshot this postcard if you want to. They stream 4 times a week, which are right here. Their website is right here, pmartiststudio.com. And they also run a Facebook group called Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists. You'll hear me call it Makers. A lot of people here in chat are in that group also. We're a friendly bunch, and we like to help each other out. So anyway, so I have, I'm a designer with PM Art Studio, and here are some of my new stamps. They're called Becky's Beads. Why are they called Becky's Beads? Well, I am the manager at my local yarn shop or bead shop. We have a yarn shop inside of our bead shop. It's called the Bead Place. And this month is our birthday month. We are 20 years old. The Bead Place has been in business for 20 years. So we're having a birthday party on Saturday, March 29th, and all month long, in person or online. Use the discount code Happy Birthday, and you will save 20% on your orders online or in person at the shop. So yeah, it's beadplace.net. So these stamps look like the walls at the Bead Place. The owner, Abby, had her friend paint some beads just like this on the walls. And I know you can't see it too well, but we'll look at what it looks like stamped. So then also, in addition to these 2 block stamps, I have this longer one. Is a strand of beads. So I got 3 of these. And what I did was I cut them up so that I could have all different sized beads. And I'm going to use like one of the smaller ones, like as my signature on an envelope or, just wherever. When I send Happy Mail or something, I think I'm going to use this one with 3 on it. So I just cut up this big one to make those. I ordered 3 of them. And then I cut up this one. I used a X-Acto knife and cut out very exactly a bunch of these. So these are all different strands too. And you'll see how I use those in a minute. So yeah, all different sizes. And I purposely left space between the beads so that you can cross the strands and they won't like overlap or anything. And you can put them all different formations. You could just use one. And as you'll see in my prints right here, they're foam. So you can bend them to look like a necklace or a bracelet or something. So yeah, I have a whole container full. And on another stream, I'll use them, but I just wanted to show them off tonight. So that's called Becky's Beads, and they are on pmartiststudio.com. And I have a discount code there. If you type in at checkout BeckyFan10, BECKYFAN, the number 10, you will save 10% on all orders of $35 and over. Not just my designs, but everybody else's designs too. So that's cool. Let me check in with chat. What's going on? Hi, Diane. Hi. I said hi, Jan. Rhonda. I'm gonna watch and listen while I eat my hot dog. Oh, good deal. Tina. Hello, everybody. Oh, hi, Stella. Thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me or not. There's high winds in the area today. I'm in the St. Louis area. Very high winds. Jan there in chat can agree with me. She's in St. Louis also. The wind is doing very funny things to the internet. So if I get choppy on the screen or my voice, please bear with me. Internet is doing silly things. So yeah, while I talk, I'm just going to flip through these kind of fast. This is how I use my Becky's Beads stamps all chopped up. I used more stamps from PM Artist Studio right here. These are from the Flower Meadow set by Carrie Griffiths, Carrie the Crafter. Rebecca, don't worry about linking everything. PM Artist Studio website is linked in my about section, and they can find it from there. I'm not going to worry about specifics tonight, but look at that one. I did most of these live on live streams at work at the Bead Place on Wednesday night and Thursday morning, and you can find those on the Bead Place's Facebook channel. Just type in the Bead Place and you'll see it'll pop up the Bead Place, Abby Berta. That's her channel. Picture of a really pretty woman staring right at you. That's Abby. So those videos are on there, and you'll see gel prints with these designs on the thumbnail for the videos, so you'll know which ones they are. But yeah, it was like the day before yesterday, whatever that was, March 19th and 20th. I don't even know what today is, but there's some more flowers. But yeah, so this is what the block one looks like. Blocks of beads. And I also have a stencil that is this too. It's also called Becky's Beads, and we'll see some prints with that in a minute. So this is a spool of magic stretch from the Bead Place that was empty, and I just used it as a stamp. And I think it looks like beads also, or maybe even like gears. So yeah, they're all different. These are going to be goodie bags at our birthday party on March 29th at the Bead Place. And I don't know what Abby's going to put in them, but it'll be fun. I put them in different little formations there. So yeah, they'll be full of goodies for anybody who comes, makes a purchase at our birthday party. We're going to make Tila bracelets. Oh, this is a smiley face. Look, Eddie, I made a party mask. Oh, and this one is a serious face. This one doesn't want to smile. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, we're going to make Tila bracelets at the party, and we're going to have goodie bags and giveaways and all kinds of good stuff. Maybe even some snacks. I don't know. I'm going to get a drink. Tonight, I have Schnucks store brand peach pear sparkling water beverage. What's in your cup? I like my sparkling water. Let's see what chat says. I'm going to get better about reading chat. If you really want to tell me something in chat, please type in all caps and or use a lot of emojis, and I will see it a little bit easier. Lygia, do you want me to call you Lygia or Rebecca on here? I think most people know you as Rebecca. Woo, I'm still eating my dinner. Those are pretty, Becky. Thank you. It's 2:22 in Sweden. Well, thank you, Tina. Did you just wake up and happen to see that I was on? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. You're drinking water. Cool. Okay. So here's some prints with my Becky's Beads stencil. These are fun. So this one, I just kind of tapped on it and got just a little bit of beads on there. In the background is my punctuation parade stencil, which you'll see better in a minute here. This one's kind of a grungy one. There's a lot of show and tell, so I'm going to go through these kind of fast. And before we end tonight, I'm going to do a giveaway because guess what? I am over 100 subscribers now. Yay! I think last time I checked, it was like 106 or something. So usually on my streams, I do a giveaway of a print, and those who have won already know that I send extra little goodies in there too. Today, since we had 100 subscribers on this channel, I'm going to do an extra something big. I'm going to send you some prints and some scraps and just all kinds of fun papers, and it'll be a package of stuff. It'll be bigger than my usual giveaway stuff. So I have a dice right here. We're going to roll the dice for it today. And yeah, so somebody remind me to do that around 9 p.m. or so. That'll be about a half hour from now, I think. So yeah, so here's the punctuation parade with the beads over it. I think that's pretty cool. There's more of these beads. I should take a picture of the walls of the bead place because it looks just like that stencil and stamp. This one's shiny. Punctuation parade. Okay, so that is my new stamp and stencil. So that's that. So more cool things going on. I have a lot going on right now, folks. So I've opened a Ko-Fi shop. I don't know if they Ko-Fi coffee. I don't know. It's in my link tree, which is in my about section of my channel. You'll see it. Right now it just has one thing on there, but I'm preparing lots more goodies. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to see in there. I'm going to be doing mostly digitals. I'm making some artist trading card backs. I have, this is my first set. It is, I think it's called Forest Creatures. I don't know. You'll see. It's the only one on there right now. So it's 13 pages of digital prints that I've done with my designs. And it is 13 pages of AI animals that I've made. And there we go. And I'm very upfront with it. These are AI. I created them. It took me a while to build up my skills of getting them without 8 fingers. So I'd like to think that they are, you know, my creation, but I am upfront. These are AI. But look how cute though. So anyway, these are some artist trading cards that I made with them. This one says, how the hell did you get in here? So yeah, so these are some of the stuff from my pack, and I'll flip through that really quick too, so we can see that. That's the front page. So there's some mushrooms, mushrooms and acorns, more colors. A big influence of mine is Indie Warhol. So you'll see different colors of the same things in here. I like color. I think it was Darcy that was using this kit on one of her recent videos, and she made the remark that it reminds her of Warhol. And I thought that was just the best compliment, because I mean, it wasn't my intention, but he's a huge influence for me. So no matter what I do, it just kind of comes through whether I try or not, with all the different colors, like the purple and then the blue sloth. That deer is just staring right back at you. And then these are the prints that I have. That's my Beam Me Up Butterfly. That's another Beam Me Up Butterfly. This is some grunge. This one is, I call this Drippy Drops. This is not on pmartiststudio.com. This is not a PM stencil. This is something I made just for me. But yeah, it's raindrops. I call it Drippy Drop. And this is my Warped Stars. This is my ampersand stencil. Keyhole orifices. A couple people have taken this and used it in like an Alice in Wonderland theme. I love Alice in Wonderland, so that was so flattering to see this used for Alice in Wonderland. I think Kiki used this. Niar Designs, I think is her channel. She used that in Alice in Wonderland. And then also Carrie Griffiths, Carrie the Crafter, used another one of my, he actually used the stencil and made a print with my keyhole orifices and used it for a Alice in Wonderland layout. And I was so happy with that. That's so flattering. I love it. This one is Sweater Weave. Oh, and this is a prototype of my Becky Speeds stencil, cut up and arranged in different, you know, a formation, which is what you can do with the stamps. It ended up being stamps that you can cut apart like this. So that's just an example of what you can do with the stamps. Make them, I think it looks kind of mid-century modern. Words are hard. Mid-century modern, I think it looks. This is some grunge. This is actually from my first time I taught gel printing at the bead place. I was showing my students how to make marks with like bubble wrap and magic stretch spool, and I just thought it was cool, so I kept it and I included it in there. This is Love Lattice hearts, and that's Love Lattice too, but it's really grungy and you can't really tell what it is. So that's my digital pack. I think it's like $2 on Ko-Fi. If you want to check that out. And let me check chat again. Oh, hi. Hi, Yolande. How are ya? That's Devin Rex there in chat. Okay. Nobody else is my baby kitty's name. Yes. Okay, cool. Is that a D&D dice? It is. I have a whole container of dice. Oh yeah, I used to play D&D. Oh, there's a snake shed in there too. I used to play D&D. I love it. If there was an adult league around here, like at night after bedtime, I would so be there. Love it. I was always a fairy and I got killed early in the campaign, but you know, it was fun. Whatever. I'm gonna get a drink. Okay. Excuse me. I have a problem with talking too fast. So let me know if I'm talking too fast for everybody. Another thing I've been doing with the color combo in Makers on Facebook is, in addition to making prints with them, I've been making a wrap bracelet or necklace type thing on the Bead Play streams the first Wednesday of the month with the color combo. And like the Wednesday night stream, the audience in chat helps me pick out the beads. And then the Thursday morning live is when I actually start to put this together. So this is January's. I forgot exactly what the colors were called, but this is January's. And this is February. Little roses. And where's the bird? I got a bird on here. There's a little birdie. Got some check glass in there. Some seed beads. And then this is March. So this is the current color combo. It's Chateau Rose and Teal and Antique Bronze. So again, some check glass. I have a charm right here. The evil eye. I have some chain. And it's all strung on Eslon. All these supplies can be found at beadplace.net. And type in happy birthday. It's all one word in the checkout and you will save 20%. We actually have little packs of beads that are either these exact beads or very similar to these beads. You can buy a little pack of them if you want to make something similar to this. So, and those are on the website. I think it's called Choose Your Own Adventure, something smattering color combo. You'll see it. It is there. So there's that. So I'm making one of those every month. And then we have some prints. This is Grandfather's Letters by Carrie Griffiths. Again, I'm going to flip through these fast because we have a lot of show and tell, and then we'll do some neurographics. That is Paula Squid. This is what I did with the color combo for with gel prints. This is Sumi Marks by Safia. And here is Franken Line Marks by Miriam. Shiny, shiny. The camera doesn't like shiny. Here is Yolande. Yolande is in chat. Shout out to Yolande. This is her dragon eyes. And I think I've posted these in Makers before, but I wanted to show them off here too. There's that. And the camera doesn't like shiny, but I do. So if you can see it. I love that one. This one's all grungy. I gave one of these to the Tie-Dyed Iguana. That's the local store where we get our feeders for our snakes. Oh, here's the long haul I did with it. Check it out. I did all like black, brown, copper, maybe a little bit of red in there. with my long hauls, I usually like to stay in the same like color family. And my long hauls are short, like less than 10 layers, because I think anything other than that, you lose the effect. I don't know, but I like the way it turned out. There's more of my keyhole orifices, and there's more keyholes. This is by Eddie. Eddie Reyes. Eddie makes art. This is his, I put down macro paisley, but I think is paisley pathways. I really do. It's a couple layers of it. This is hash marks by Estella. She's in chat also. Whoop, whoop, Estella. And there's more hash marks by Estella. This is the snail from the Mixed Motifs set by Joan Marone. Snail, and this is the snail and mowing duck. Shiny, shiny. More Frankenline marks by Miriam. More Franken marks. This is Sashiko Circles by PM Artist Studio themselves. Lots of layers in that one. Oh, and that's my Beat Me Up Butterfly in the back. I like to make some prints double-sided, and then I cut it up and make little flip books, little journals out of them, little art books. I don't know what you call it. So this is Sashiko Circles. Excuse me, Sashiko Circles and Paisley Pathways, and my Beam Me Up Butterflies in this too. It's a lot going on in this one. And then, oh, this is Eddie's, what do you call it? Paisley Pathways on. This is the transparency that comes on the top of a new gel plate. So I printed on the back side of that. And then you can layer it over something. And it's shiny, so it's not agreeing with camera, but you can do something like that. Yeah, so that's fun. There's another mix of everything. More Paisley Pathways, and ooh, that's a cool one. Beat Me Up Butterfly. And when I do a gel printing session, I usually use like the same handful of stencils, so you're going to see duplicates. This is Paisley Pathways turned a couple different ways with different colors. And oh, and this is Darcy's Scary Harry style too. So yeah, there's that. Don't worry, we're getting to the Neurographics very soon. Very soon. Let me get these out of the way. And we'll see what chat says. Rebecca. Okie dokie. Great layering, Becky. Thank you. It looks 3D-ish, the green and pink. So cool. Thank you. Thank you. I like that one a lot. And this was just a flop off for a lot of things. But you know, the flop offs and the brayer offs kind of, sometimes they're even better than like what you're intending to do. So when I went through my folder of my neurographic drawings to take out a few to show you, I also found a little bit of my blackout poetry. So you're going to hear me read this whether you want me to or not. It's pretty funny. It's called Uninvited. Simone and Florian were all smiles. Bonjour, I responded. I hope you stay here at the cozy fireplace. Let's have wine. No, good riddance. Yeah, I'm hilarious. Maybe not. So let's talk about neurographics. That is why we are here. So first I will tell you what neurographic drawing is all about, and then I'll show you what I've done. And as I'm doing that, I'll explain the differences in how I do mine, how it's different than the real neurographics. So disclaimer, I am not doing the traditional neurographic drawing. I don't claim to be following the rules. I am doing my own thing here, and you're welcome to follow along if you want to. All you need is some kind of writing utensil and a piece of paper, any kind of paper you want. Tonight, I'm just using the 32-pound hammer mill that I used to print on because that's what was handy. So this was my first neurographic drawing I ever did, and I was following all the traditional rules, and it's kind of boring. So neurographic drawing is Pavel Piskarev. He was an artist, invented, discovered, made up neurographic drawing in 2014. So that's fairly recent. It's kind of a new art form. He calls it the art of transformation. It captures how our inner being reacts to the outer world. So you can treat this like a meditation, or you can treat this like art therapy, or you can just have fun and doodle. Do what you want, whatever you want. Um, so what happens here is more than just scribbling. It really is. Um, so it's called neurographic art because neurons are the pathways from our brain to our body parts, and our brain is telling our body what to do. So it said that when you're making these, you get into such a rhythm and such, concentrating, almost a meditative state, that you forget about everything else and you create new neural pathways to your brain, and you solve a problem, or you get over a bad feeling or something like that. So when you draw your lines on here, you're supposed to think of a problem or a situation. Um, you can think about, oh, the day was beautiful yesterday. It rained and it was beautiful. Or you can think of, oh, I'm mad at my boss. What do I say to her tomorrow? Anything you want. Um, and you draw lines. And then well, you should probably write your thing on the back, like what you're working through, write it on the back. And then, so you draw your lines, and you're supposed to just close your eyes or just absently just scribble real slow for a good 5 seconds. Okay. Extend any lines off the page. So there's nothing just like hanging. Everything goes off the page. I like to put at least one line in a corner. That's just the thing I do. Um, and then after that, you round all your corners, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And then after you've rounded all the corners, you go back and you make more lines and shapes, just kind of intuitively, whatever you think looks good. You can put circles, whatever you want to do. You don't have to put just lines this time. You can do shapes. And then you round those corners. And so when you're rounding the corners, you're building the new neural pathways. This is what they say. So the rounded parts, rounded shapes are more pleasing to the eye subconsciously. It's easier to see and comprehend than sharp angles like squares. This kind of puts you at ease, kind of in a dream state. Whereas if it was squares, it would be all poof, 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 poof. Gotta make those sound effects. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. So, and then after that, after you add more lines and round off those corners, whenever you think it's done, then you can color it or leave it as is and just reflect on the process and, what did you learn about yourself? Or you can just have fun and doodle, whatever. It's not that serious. Let me check chat. Gotta love a good flop off. Yeah. Cool. Oh, you do neurographics too, Yolan. Good. Cool. Is anybody playing along tonight? Is anybody going to draw along with me? We're going to have some fun. So now I will describe how what I do is different than the normal. Let me get a drink first. It's important to stay hydrated, kids. Okay, so this was my first neurographic drawing, and I'm like, yeah, it's nice, but it looks like everybody else's. And you know me, I have to do my own thing. So I decided that instead of just lines, I would write words in here, but you can't tell what words I put in here because you'll see why. So this one says November, because I made it in November, and everything in my life happens in November. Our wedding anniversary is November 3rd. Eric's, my husband's mother, passed away in November. We bought this house in November. Our daughter's birthday is in November. So I wrote November on here. You would never guess that it says November in here. But that's the idea. You're not going to be able to tell what I wrote. Then I add some more little doodles and whatever. And yeah, so that one's one that I did not color in. It's just on a little note card, index card. This one, what does this say? This one says Cirque du Soleil. It was for a challenge. The theme was circus. So it says Cirque du Soleil because I don't like regular circuses. They mistreat animals. So it says Cirque du Soleil where there are no animals. And again, I put little doodles in there, and 3 dots like right here, or this little mark is kind of my signature. I have this little mark on this tattoo right here. It's just my little signature. So, oh, new tattoo right there. It's not even quite healed yet. But yeah, that's my peacock feather. So yeah, I've been waiting a long time to get that. I'm pretty excited. And then the artist who drew this put a little there's a paisley in here that resembles that paisley. So how cool is that? I think it's very cool. I'm still getting used to seeing that on my arm. I'm not used to seeing it there, but I love it. Okay, so this one, Cirque du Soleil. This one doesn't say anything. I guess this was before I started putting words in it, but this is using just 3 different colors of ink pen, like a gel pen. So that's a little bit different. This is one of my favorite ones ever. It goes like this. So this one says, junk food does not equal happiness. That is a tough lesson to learn for me. I have always struggled with junk food and being fat. But, you know, I've come to a place where, you know, I've accepted that's just me, and it doesn't matter what my gravitational pull is. But anyway, so yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. It almost looks like a pair of scissors there. I used to be a hairstylist. Kind of looks like a ladder. There's a little face. There's a heart. There's another face. Paw print. All kinds of stuff. Just unintentionally just popped up in here. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like. So I kind of colored it that way. So yeah, there's that one. And Rhonda says, maybe close your eyes and draw on a page. Yeah, absolutely. You can close your eyes and draw on a page. You can listen to music and just kind of let that make your hand go, whatever you want to do. Now this one is a little different. I did not do neurographic lines. I just started this side of the paper and went over and just made shapes that resemble neurographic shapes and rounded most of them. And then I saw a bird, so I colored it like a bird. And a little tooth or a cat, I don't know. And this kind of looks like a rooster, I don't know. And this, yeah, I'm not gonna say what that looks like. It looks kind of like a maxi pad. But anyway, there's a bird there. This one is no words. It says all freestyle. So this one, yeah, I just drew a bunch of scribbles and rounded them. And there's my 3 dots again. There's my little marks again. So these are tulips. I didn't intend for it to be that way, but after I rounded all my corners, I saw, hey, that kind of looks like tulips there. So that's how I colored it. And eventually I would love to make a stencil for PM Artist Studio based off of these tulips. They're just kind of warped and just kind of all together. But we'll see about that. I'm still kind of thinking about how I want to do that. But yeah, I like that one a lot. So this one says, purple is my favorite color. Blue and green are okay too. Yeah. So little bird. And there's my 3 dots. There's my little things. Oh, and this is on, where are my other stamps? That mark is on this one, created by one of my other stamps for PM Artist Studio. It's not exact, but it's pretty close to it. Just from the edge of that one there. Yeah. So that's kind of one of my little signature little things that I like to include with my stuff. So there's that one. This one says rainbow. There was a challenge and the theme was rainbow. So it says rainbow. Yeah. And this one says, anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. That is a quote by Albert Einstein. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. So I like that little part there. This little swirly. This one is another Einstein quote. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. So that's what that says inside of here. Start thinking of what I should make the one tonight say. We're going to start one in a second. I'm going to have one of you guys pick what we're going to write on this one. And this was another challenge that I did. The theme was fire. So this one says the time to hesitate is through, from the song Light My Fire by the Doors. I love the Doors. So this one is fire. And I hope it represents fire. So, and there's my 3 little dots again. Yeah. So that's that. So let's get started. Somebody in chat tell me a word or a very small phrase that we should do on here tonight. First one I see is what I'll do. And tonight I am using micron pens. You can use Sharpie, and I used to use Sharpie, but I found that I like to use different sizes of pens in my drawings, and the different sizes of Sharpies are not exactly the same color black or the same color purple. Like if you use a thick one, then a super fine one, it is not exactly the same color. Microns are. And I mean, with Sharpie, it's not really obvious. You got to get like really nitpicky about it. But, you know, I'm kind of nitpicky about that kind of stuff. So I use micron. Microns are awesome. I usually start out with like an 8 or a 10 as my lines. And then when I'm rounding the corners, I use a 5. And if there's little bitty areas, I use like a 1 or a 2. So that is what we're going to do tonight. Let's take a minute to appreciate this bowl. I love to go to thrift shops and antique shops. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? I think it's pretty cool. There's a thrift shop down the street that has a whole room that's nothing but antiques and vintage stuff. And it's kind of high price, but it is good stuff. Carnival glass and all kinds of cool stuff. Also, they have books for 25 cents each. And on Wednesdays, they are buy one, get one free. What a deal. So that's where I get most of my books that I harvest and cut up for little phrases and things that I use on my artist trading cards. And I've even found like 4 language workbooks. I found like a Japanese math workbook. Cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Beads. Rhonda, are you saying beads is what we should write here? That's the first one I saw. Oh, bye, Yolande. Enjoy your time with your family. Eddie's pretty good at seeing stuff on a page. Is Eddie here? He said he was going to set his alarm to watch. Let's all give Eddie a hard time in chat because he's not here. He goes to bed early. It's okay. It's okay. Yes. Okay. Well, that's the first one I saw. So we're going to do beads. It is almost 9 o'clock. So why don't I do the first part of this and write beads, and then we will do a giveaway. Cool. I'm going to get a drink, and then we will start. When does the art start? When does the art start? And by the way, the nerd is open. Anything goes in chat. I really don't care. I'm not monetized, and the chat goes away after a while. So have at it. We are all adults here, and whatever. You be you. The nerd is open. Always. Okay, so bowl would make a great impression on jelly plate. I know. I just might do that. Oh, and the thing that my D&D dice are in is pretty cool too. I don't know if it's antique or not, but I got it at the thrift shop. It's got like a cool little frosted top there. Very cool. I love it. Okay, so how we're going to do this so that you won't know what it says. Sometimes I either use my non-dominant hand, or I write some letters in cursive and some in printing. I do some of my letters backwards. Whatever you want. You can close your eyes and do it. Whatever. Also, very important, a big thing that I do. I write them really big. So here's a B. Okay. Here's the key. Turn it. after every letter. Or if you're doing a phrase, maybe turn it after every word. So there's our B. And I'm going to write E. Okay. Then I'm going to write A. Now, there's not very much over here yet, so I'm going to make sure that something goes over there. D. And right here in the middle is kind of empty, so I'm going to make sure that the S kind of goes over that part. So S. Okay. So looking at this, you would never guess it says beats, right? You can still kind of see letters, but like not really. So what we're going to do now, see this little hangy offy? We're going to extend that over there. This little hangy offy, we're going to extend it to over there. This, I'm not too happy with that. I'm going to extend that to the edge of the page. And that sort of is part of the neurographic. Any things that are left hanging like that one here, just make it go to off the page. Everything is going to go off the page. So yeah, let's see if there's any more hanging offies. I'm not too happy with that either. So I just usually follow it in the direction it's going or at the angle it's going, whatever. This one's not to the end of the page. Yeah. And I like to use at least one of the corners. I like a line to end in at least one of the corners. You don't have to. That's just the thing I do. This right here isn't too good. I'm going to make this one go like that. And see how that's kind of sloppy right here? Right here. We're going to fix that. Not a big deal. Okay, so the next step would be the rounding the corners. But before we get into that, we are going to do a giveaway. So how many people are here? It says 9, I think. So this dice has 20 sides. What does this tell us? The nerd in an imaginary place. Oh, thank you for explaining the nerd. I assumed that everybody here knew what the nerd was, but I hope they do. But maybe there's some new people. So we'll see. So, okay, so this dice has 20 sides, and there are less than 20 people here. So pick a number between 1 and 20, write it in chat, and whoever comes closest without going over will win a pack of prints and scraps and all kinds of cool goodness. A package full of stuff. If I don't already have your address, then you can text me later. If the winner is somebody that I don't know, then you can go to the About section on my channel, and it will have a link tree. Go to the link tree, and it'll give you my Instagram. You can contact me on Instagram, and we will work out how I'm going to get you your prize. But I think most people in the chat right now are people that I know, so we will do it that way. I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes to people put in their numbers, and then I will roll the dice. The die. Eggplant, Diane says. Eggplant. That's adequate. And Tina's still here. Tina, you need to go to sleepy. But thank you. Thank you for being here. There's some other fun things on my desk. I don't know. I have way too much stuff on my desk. Oh, here's the glue muff that I made for my art glitter glue. This was my practice one. I really don't like pink. I was just kind of practicing with this one. I'll make myself a better one someday. And I lost my little ball on my pin for that. So yeah, there's that. The nerd welcomes guttery thoughts. Yes. You can say whatever the fuck you want when you're in the nerd. Oopsie. Anyway, I'm really laid back. Now I'm drinking coffee. Okay, does everybody have their letters in? I think everybody's got their letters in. I'm going to wait just a couple more minutes because there's a delay. But, and then we'll get some neurographic drawing. Is anybody following along? Making some neurographics with me? If you do, post it in Makers later. I want to see. Okay, I'm rolling. I am rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling. 17. Who got closest to 17? Rebecca and Estella, you're my moderators. Help me figure this out. Who got closest to 17 without going over? Estella says 13. Lygia says 18. Diane says 12. Estella had 13. Is Estella the closest? Yeah, I think so. Congratulations, Estella. You get a cool pack of awesome stuff from me. And I know what your favorite colors are and stuff, so I'll make it cool. Okay, so number 17, you got it. Awesome. Congratulations to Estella. Very cool. Okay, put that away. So I did this with my number 10 pen, and that just means it's thicker. Number 5 is about what most like regular ink pens are. And then here's number 2, it's even smaller. So number 5 is somewhere in the middle. It's medium. I just want to see if it would work. I have my notes up here. Okay, so why don't I zoom in a little bit if I can? We're gonna go for a ride. There we go. You can start at one end and work over. You can work in the center and work out. You can skip around, whatever you want to do. Right now, this sloppy part right over here is bugging me. So I'm going to start with that. So sometimes what I like to do is, where's my big pen again? When there's a little bitty section like that, I just color it in and make it solid. And then I'm curving this edge, and that's that. But I like to get like really in here and like really make sure it's perfectly round and there's no edges anymore and there's no little hangy offies like that. I really get in there. Like if I have a drawing this size, it'll take me a couple hours, like a couple days in a row to finish. Like the rounding the corners is, I would say, 80% of what you're doing here. It's not something that you're going to finish in 10 minutes. It's a process. And it is the part that is said to create new neural pathways. And it is meant to be meditative. And this is the meat and potatoes of the activity. This is mostly what you're doing. So I had a little hangy offy there that I created by being too messy. And I just went for it and extended the line and went off the page with it, and that creates a new shape there. So when you make new shapes, you have to round more corners, and that's what we're doing. We're just rounding corners here. Is there any questions that we have so far? Write your questions in caps, all capital letters, in the chat if there's any questions. I hope I'm explaining this correctly. And then if you want to do some little, I could put my little 3 dots here. Or, if you see a bird or a heart or, whatever. One thing I also like to do is with this kind of a shape right here, I don't round this. I just round these top 2. And it kind of resembles like a paisley shape. I love paisley. If you haven't noticed, I love paisley. So when I see like a long skinny shape like this, I just kind of round this side and leave the pointy part down there still. So it kind of resembles a paisley. And that's not real neurographics, but again, I'm not claiming to do real neurographics. We're having fun. Neurographics has some rules, and they are kind of loose rules, but I am a fan of learning the rules and breaking them. And it's not that serious. It's not for a contest. It's not for a grade in school. Have fun. I made one. I don't want to get serious here or anything, but I made one about my feelings about my father. I'm estranged from my father, and I wrote down a sentence about how I felt about him in one of these, and it kind of helped me work through a little bit of it. And then, sometimes they're as silly as the one that I showed you before about purple is my favorite color, but blue and green are good too. So whatever. One time on my birthday, I made one and it said happy birthday. I think it was my 40th birthday I did one for. That was a while back. Or 45th? I don't know. Anyway, but I did one for my birthday and it said happy birthday. And I was just thinking about getting old. Let me see what chat says. She's bowing. Rounding the intersections of lines is so meditative. Yes. Becky, you could draw little beads along the lines. Yeah. Make the outlines as to go around them. Yeah. I don't do rules. There you go. High five, Rhonda. Great application for Neurographica. Well, I'm glad you said that word, Estella, Neurographica. Neurographica is different than neurographic drawing. To be an instructor with Neurographica, you have to be like certified and take classes, and like these classes are expensive, and I just don't quite understand why it has to be that complicated. Neurographica, each type of Neurographica has its own algorithm, and you can't find these for free in most places. There's one like the Tree of Life, and you draw a tree and they guide you through a process. And I'm not bagging on it at all. It's just not my thing. Neurographica is a strict algorithm for what you're doing. Like there's a Tree of Life, there's one with water, there's one with awakening and letting go. Like there's themes to them. I saw one that is a rose, and they all have their own algorithms, meaning that like you do different types of lines and you do different quantities of different lines, and like there has to be one facing east and intersecting with, and I don't know exactly, but so that's Neurographica. Neurographic drawing is just more relaxed, and how I described, just making some lines and going with it. If you watch videos on YouTube, some people know what they're talking about and some people don't. And I don't claim to know what I'm talking about. I'm not one of those people. I'm sharing what I have heard about Neurographic. I'm sharing what knowledge I have about it. And somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But you'll see different people doing Neurographic drawing on YouTube. And where was I going with this? Oh, and different techniques. And like one person I saw had like a tape roll, or like a coin or something. And when they made their field lines, their lines, the goal was to push this across the page, but it's hard. So you see how this would make, lines pushing this across the page, and that's how they do it. Just different little things like that. That's just another form of like when I suggested to turn on music or different things, or if you're mad you can scribble, or you can just have fluffy little happy trees. So, speaking of happy trees, I went to a fairly new business downtown here in Belleville. Downtown is a really cool area. I live in a city called Belleville, but downtown in the historic district down here, they call it Bell Vegas, because during the day it's all thrift shops and antique shops and little coffee shops, and at night it's bars, and they close the streets to party, and they have lights up all the time, like party lights, and it turns into a party at night. Anyway, I went to a new candy shop that is downtown. It's called the Candy Bar, and it was all right. Not sure if I'll be back or not, but it was all right. They had the coolest stuff though. They had Happy Little Tree. That's what got me thinking of it. They had Bob Ross mints, and they were in a little tin, one of those little, tins, and it had Bob Ross on the cover, and it said Happy Little Tree mints, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And they had a Sugar Skull one, and they had a Hello Kitty one, and I couldn't decide which one to get, so I didn't get any. But I did get a chocolate ice cream root beer float. They have like an old-fashioned soda fountain there too. So I got that. And I got some Zots, some grape Zots. It's like hard candy. And then when you get to the center of it, it's fizzy. I like to give them to people and just tell them it's hard candy. And then like halfway through, they're like, ah, Becky. Yeah, so I got some grape Zots. Oh, and they had the candy that you can get like in a bag and you pay by the pound. So my daughter got some Reese's Pieces. Earlier today, we went to the movies and we saw the new Looney Tunes movie. And I love Looney Tunes. It was all right. It wasn't as good as I would hope for, but I have pretty high standards when it comes to Looney Tunes. It's all right, though. It was fun to go to the movies. I got a knitting project started. I knit when I go to the movies. So I had a little hanging outy there where I kind of was too sloppy, and I'm just going to turn it into something cool. It wants to go right there, so it's going to go there. And then this is going to go like that. There we go. Let me check on the chat. What do we got? I've heard the instructors I follow call the Contraband drawings as Neurographica inspired art. Yeah, you know, some people with their Neurographica get really opinionated about, you know, don't do this unless you're certified, or, you know, and that's fine. You know, I am not claiming to be doing that at all. Contraband. You need to embrace that you have gone around the sun X number of times and maybe say something like, I have lived a half an entry and have seen the sun moonrise and set. Ah, that's cool. Half an entry, half a century, I think you're trying to say. Yeah. I'm not quite half a century yet. I am 49. Almost there, though. Neurographics is an intentional algorithm. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I was trying to think of a word. Rhonda says yum. Same with Zentangle, loose definition or other kind. The other kind. Anal. Haha. Diane said anal. Can you knit in the dark, Becky? Yes. Yes, I can. It's not like lace or anything, but yeah, I knit in the dark. I'm just one of those people that can't sit still. So I always have to have something to do and may as well be productive. So I knit at the movie theater. So yeah, I started a thing. And I'll probably post it to Makers when it gets bigger, but it's only like 6 inches long right now. Like an eggplant. It's adequate. Yeah, I'll be quiet now. Thanks guys for showing up tonight. I don't go live too often, and it's all very last minute. And it's always going to be kind of late at night. So thank you so much for showing up. And I totally understand the people that can't watch it live and have to watch the replay, because it is kind of late at night for a lot of people. So yeah, I totally get it. Totally get it. Is there any questions? I don't see any questions. I guess that means that I'm explaining this pretty well. Yeah. So yeah, the artist trading cards that I showed you earlier with the little forest animals on them from my Ko-Fi kit, that was for a swap that I host on a website called what is it? ATCs for All. It might be the number 4, ATCsforall.com. And they have lots of swaps with trading cards and postcards, inchies, chunky pages, all kinds of stuff. One lady does swaps where you swap hearts. You make like little hearts and you swap them. All kinds of cool stuff. And what I like about that website is that there's a rating system. So when you create a profile and you sign up for that website, and when you trade, you're held accountable. Like, when you get a card from somebody, there's expectations like, send your stuff within 2 weeks. And if you're going to be delayed, let them know. Communication is key. And so when you get stuff in the mail from somebody, you leave them feedback, which is either positive, neutral, or negative. And positive would be great quality cards, exactly as described. They sent it to me on time. Very good communication, stuff like that. Neutral would be, I didn't get cards for an extra week, something like that. And negative would be, they ghosted me and didn't send me anything, and they were rude. I've never had to leave a negative, but I have left a neutral before. I felt really bad about it. And the lady came back later and said, well, I was in the hospital. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. Contact a moderator and get that removed. But I like that website because there is that they hold you accountable, so you're not just like, it's not blind faith. It's just, you're held accountable. You're going to send stuff in. So, the swaps there are like, I host monthly prompt swaps, and, there's always 3 prompts, and you have to use all 3 prompts on all 3 of the cards that you send in. So this month's prompts are: the background of the trading card has to be a page from a book with words. There has to be the color red somewhere on the card. And one of the words in the book page has to be highlighted or circled somehow. So whoever signs up, you sign up and you send in the cards by the due date. My due dates are always the 25th of the month. And so I get cards from people all over the world. I usually have about 30 to 40 people that sign up. And they send their cards to me by the deadline. And then I mix them all up and sort them out by, I don't want to say by ability because art is very subjective, but like I sort out the hand-drawn ones, and I sort out the ones that are made of magazine pages, and, just different, categories. If one has a butterfly and there's another butterfly, you're going to get a butterfly back. I just try to do like, similar cards in a trade. So you kind of get what you put in, so they send me cards, and there's 3 cards for the trade, but it's etiquette to send 4. You don't have to. A lot of people send 4 so the host can keep 1 too. So I have cards from all the people that sent me a host gift. That's what mine were in. But then, yeah, so these are all cards that I got in January. January's theme was color black, a hand or a paw, and a math problem. So sorry about the glare. They're in protective sleeves. But yeah, it's all different types of cards. It's pretty cool. I like that one a lot. They all have black, a hand or a paw, and a math problem. I couldn't find the hand or the paw on this one. Too good. It's right there on her shirt. Sorry, there's a glare, but there's a kitty cat. But yeah, so they all follow the theme. And then these are the 3 that I chose for the swap, actually. So I participate in the swap also. And then here are my host gifts. So I get those every month. And that is January. And so, yeah, I started that last year. I did a full year last year, and I'll do a full year this year. And if there's still interest, I'll do it again next year too. So that's fun. I haven't finished my cards for this month yet, but I got to get going because for the first time ever, everybody's cards are here before the due date. They're not due until the 25th, and today's, I don't know, 21st. I don't even know what today is. So I've got to get going on mine, but I have a good idea of what I'm doing though. I have them set aside with little papers that'll go on them. So I just have to assemble them. Also, my partners in the Makers Swap, I am partnered with Patty, and Utah did not have anybody because she lives in Canada and nobody else from Canada signed up, so she agreed to swap with me. So we're swapping too, and I almost finished with those. I just put backs on them. And then my scrap swap partner is also Patty. Not planned, but it worked out really well. So she's going to get a bunch of scraps too. Yeah. So I feel like we're just kind of doing the same thing and I'm rambling. Is there any questions? I'm thinking that I'll probably end soon. What is it, 9:20? Yeah, that'll be a little bit more than an hour that we're on here. Unless there's something else that you want to see. Tell me in chat. Are we doing the same thing over and over? Is there something else you want to see? Are we almost done? Let me know what you're thinking. I'm surprised that the internet has cooperated with the winds outside. Yeah. Good friend of mine just got a new job and she gets off work at 11. She works second shift. And she's like, you want to go to Denny's later? So she's going to text me about 11:30 p.m. and we're going to meet up at Denny's. I don't go to bed until like 2 or 3. So that's no big deal. I stay up very late. Welcome to your late 40s. Also, I said, hi, Kiki. Hi, Kiki. We were talking about you earlier. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying how you used my keyhole print in an Alice in Wonderland thing. I gotta tell you, Kiki, and I messaged you about this also, but that Alice in Wonderland book that you're doing with my digital kit, oh my goodness, that is like one of my most favorite things that anybody has done with my designs or like anything. Alice in Wonderland is one of my very favorite things ever. And the way you're putting that together with a little golden book, I collect little golden books. And it's perfect. I'm loving what you're doing. If anybody wants to check it out, Kiki, put your channel in chat. Plug your channel so people can go check out your channel. She's doing that as part of Carrie Griffith's Mixed Media March, hashtag Mixed Media March 25. And I believe she's doing another challenge with it too. But yeah, she's putting my digitals in a little golden book, like an art journal. And it's Alice in Wonderland. It is so fucking cool. So cool. Oh, my husband says poop. Yeah. My husband's a mod, and he is in the garage with his friend Bill. Hi, Eric and Bill. We're talking about neurographic drawings and artist trading cards. Yeah, so my husband and his friend Bill, they are like Beavis and Butthead. Every other week they come over here and sit in Eric's garage, and every other week they go to Bill's house and sit in Bill's garage. And they drink beer, and they watch music videos on the television, and it's dark, and they have like hippie lighting, like special, you know what I'm saying, like blue and green and whatever lighting. And yeah, and they sit out there and drink beers and watch music videos, and mainly ones with fire, no, not fire, with, you know, barely dressed women or, you know, things like that. And I got them a Nerf gun. I got them each Nerf guns recently. So tonight they're probably shooting each other with the Nerf guns. Yeah. So tonight is when Bill is at our place, and they're out in the detached garage, and they can be as loud as they want and make messes and whatever, and they can be Beavis and Butthead, and it's all good. And after this, I might go join them. So, and he's putting poop all over the place. That's fabulous. Hey, girl, he says. Yeah, beer, poop, and beer. Yeah, that's my husband, everybody. Everybody say, hi, Eric. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and the How Do You Do Art by Cheryl. Yeah. Thanks, Kiki. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, the ATCs that I made with my digital kit was also part of the hashtag How Do You Do Art, put on by Cheryl, the whole bucket. Check out her channel. If anybody knows her channel, link it there also. I believe it's just the whole bucket. On YouTube, it's just the whole bucket. We do a themed thing every month. And how do you do art? So it's how do you do whatever, the thing is. It started off being, she would send us all the same supplies and we would make something with, the supplies. And it was, how 6 artists put together the same stuff, whatever to make it look different. But more people have joined us and I love it. And February's theme was use Becky's digital kit and make something. And I don't know if I've seen all the videos yet, but I've seen a lot of them and they are so good. It's so cool to see what different people do with, the same digital kit. So yeah, check out the hashtag how do you do, or sometimes it's how do you do art, on YouTube. And maybe even Facebook, it would pop up. I don't even know how many people are there now. I think it's like a dozen people that are in that group now. And it's not a group on Facebook or anything. It's just we have a chat thread going, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think this month they are decorating a paintbrush. Kiki, is that right? They're decorating paintbrush. I'm not doing that one. I have a lot on my plate right now with the birthday party at the Bead Place, March 29th. Say happy birthday and you get 20% off. I'm making goodie bags. Let me show the goodie bags again. Yeah, Eric says beer, beer, beer. Love it. Smiley faces. Oh, alien faces. Yeah, that's surprised my husband's not doing alien faces. That's another thing he does. I'm going to bring you back up. Going for a ride. There we go. Now we have more room. Yeah, so these are goodie bags that people get gift with purchase at the Bead Place birthday party. That's a serious face. And this is a smiley face. This is my contribution to the party mask. Hi, Eddie. Love you. And this one. Yeah. So these are fun. I have to do a lot more. I'm going to make like 60 of them, I think. That should be enough. People are coming in like from out of town and staying in the hotels across the street for our party. It'll be cool. We're staying open an hour late and it'll be a good time. I'm excited. We'll have a photo booth open with props and music and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm pretty excited. So anyway, what are we saying? The whole bucket, I think. You can also search how do you do art if you want to. Thank you, Becky. I love your kit, by the way. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Diane says I got a color printer cartridge. Download, print, but it doesn't think. I get my stuff, Diane, I get my stuff printed at a local copy and ship place. They have like huge Canon printers, like better than anything that I can afford, like industrial strength printers, and they do a really good job printing stuff out, and it's really cheap. It's like 50 cents for a color copy, and whatever they print for me always looks super good. I'm happy with it, and that's also where I mail my stuff, because a lot of what I mail isn't just a regular envelope. It's usually like a poly mailer or a little bubble thing or whatever, and they just ship everything out for me. So I do that, and it's close to a coffee house, so I stop and get a fancy coffee, and it's all good. But yeah, so yeah, that's my pack. Yeah, what else is chat saying? Color printer doesn't seem right, Dan. My mom was a knitter. She used to make gorgeous sweaters. Yeah, I love knitting. I used to knit nonstop before COVID, but I don't know, something about COVID just changed me, and I still knit, but not as much as I used to. But I'm still a knitter, and I crochet, and I spin yarn. I spin fiber into yarn, and I card and blend my own fiber to make like the different, sparklies in them, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. I do a little bit of everything. Let's read this one more time because it's hilarious. It is my blackout poetry called Uninvited. Is Eric still there? It's called Uninvited. Simone and Florian were all smiles. Bonjour, I responded. I hope to stay here at the cozy fireplace. Let's have wine. No, good riddance. Yeah. Anyway, it's harder than you think. You guys ever tried blackout poetry? Just take a random book page, find words that make sense, block out everything else. Yeah, it's harder than it looks, but it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. I don't know. I think this was a challenge I did a while back too. I don't know what it was for, but yeah, so that's fun. Can you explain again? Sorry, I came too late. What would you like me to explain, Kiki? I'd be glad to explain. What is my favorite thing to knit? I knit shawls. I have I had like 80 something shawls. That is my jam. I make shawls. I make other stuff too, but that's my jam. I like to make shawls a lot. And maybe sometime I'll show them off. But yeah, so inside of the bead shop I work at is a yarn shop. So we have all kinds of really good yarn. We have like Noro and Plymouth and some indie dyed yarn and all kinds of cool ones. So yeah. But it is just cool. One of my t-shirts that I sell on TeePublic says, I just like talking to other creatives. And that's true. Part of my job is just talking about knitting to people or talking about making beaded jewelry to people. And it's fun. Let's see. Can you explain again? My mom was an amazing knitter. Even sweater she made was one of a kind. She would knit the same sweater twice. Oh yeah, I never knit the same pattern twice. I usually just make it up as I go along and make my own patterns, but it always seems to be a little bit different. I like patterns by Stephen West. His patterns are cool. And also Andrea Renee knits. Is that what it's called? And Caitlin French. I like her a lot. I like Stephen B a lot. My husband got to go to the Stephen B shop in Minneapolis when he was there for work. And he got me a couple skeins. So that was really cool. Kiki, what did you want me to explain again? Neurographics or something else? I use all kinds of different things to color these with. For this one, I'm going to use my Prismacolor pencils. I even have the Prismacolor sharpener. You don't have to use this one, but I like it. It has two different orifices for a sharp point or a big point. I don't know, but I like it. And I save my shavings too. I'm a weirdo. I have a jar of shavings, and I have a jar of paper beads that I've made, and I have a jar of the corners that come off of your corner punch, like when you do a corner punch and the little bits that fall off, I save those in a jar. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. But yeah, so for this, I'm going to use my Prismacolor pencils. I actually like the student pencils better than I like the real ones, the Scholar pencils, because they don't smear as much. And I get it that the real ones have more pigment in them, and I get why. But I actually like the Scholar ones better. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. This color is so pretty. Ultramarine. Let's play with that one. But yeah, I like those. And then for a blender, I use their blender, which is just a clear, non-pigmented pencil. Or I use a, oh, do I have one here? No. It's a little like a blending stump. And I dip it in alcohol, like rubbing alcohol, and you can like really get some good, cool effects with that. But yeah, so sometimes I color as I go along, and sometimes I don't. Oh, it's gonna pick up the. I'm on a book here, so it's gonna pick up that. We don't want that pattern on there, but Yeah. So, and sometimes I don't color them at all. But yeah, if I see like something like this and I just want it to be a certain color, I'll do it now before I forget. It looks like a fish right there. So that's cool. Maybe we'll paint that like gold or something. Not paint, color it. And that'll be a little fish. Let's see. Andrea Mowry, yes. Rhonda, yes. Renee Knits, yeah. That one. I did a store sample of her night shift. It's huge. I did it to pattern, like exactly to pattern, and it's huge. And I did one for myself, and then I did a poncho in that pattern that was just a rectangle, so I didn't do the increases, and it looks totally different. It's really neat. And I just cast on another one, and I'm doing another poncho in that pattern too, with Noro. And so the color changes, kind of short color blocks. So that's fun. I'm using the Noro Ito. It's a thick worsted kind of. Well, it'll be a heavy poncho when it's done. Yeah, I think Rhonda, I think me and you like a lot of the same knitters and a lot of the same yarns. What do you do with the shavings? I don't know. Just sit and look at them because they're pretty. Let me get something. Here's my corners from the corner rounder. And again, look at this bottle. Isn't it a cool jar? It looks like an old pharmacy jar. Got it at a yard sale. I'll dump it out. Not on top of this, but I'll dump it out. There we go. Oh, there's some dots out of a round punch too. And oh, here's some kumihimo that I did that I didn't like. Kumihimo is a ancient braiding technique. And so I took some Eslon from work and some beads. And it's a braid that I put beads on. And I was going to make a bracelet, but I just didn't like how it was turning out. So I cut it off, and it lives in here now because why not? I would get out my paper beads, but they are all packed up. I brought them to work the other day to show on the live stream. Is something else you can do with your gel prints. And I didn't unpack yet, so I don't know where those are. But I'll show them off some other time. Maybe on the next stream, I'll do some, I'll make paper beads. I make paper beads a little different than most people do, I think. So if there's interest in that, maybe that's what I'll do on my next live stream. I will make some paper beads. I use my gel prints mainly to make paper beads. So, yeah. Did we ever figure out what Kiki wanted me to explain? Andrew Bowery, what do you do? The shavings, corners. P would be proud. Yeah. Oh, I also save my trinkets that come off of the thing. Hang on just a second. I'll get my little. Oh my gosh, you're gonna freak out. It's pathetic. It really is. Let me see. Oh, that's way over there. Let me see. There's one of them. And oh, there it is. Well, there it is. Oh, it's falling out now. Oh well. We'll pick it up later. So I just started a new trinket bottle. The dried up stuff on your paint. I just started a new one. It looks like it's almost full, but I take a knitting needle or something, and oh, I'm sorry for the hand gesture. And I poke them down, and it is full. This is my full one. This is jam packed in there. It is in there. There's a ton. This is probably 6 to 8 months worth of trinkets. And then I started this one. This one absolutely will not fit anymore. I jammed as much as I could in there. And yeah, it is full. Yeah, I should show this to P. Tell her, check your lightning bolt. Yeah, and then this one's not nearly as full yet. Yeah. Jam it down. Sometimes I try to make like the pretty ones, like the silver or whatever, be on the outside so you can see it better. But Anyway, now we are watching me push my paint. I think I'm gonna get off here. Um, check chat one more time. Threw away paint boogers because I couldn't imagine what I'd ever use them for. Wowza. Paper beads. I have lots of jelly prints. Yeah, next time we'll do paper beads. Hi, Robin. How are you? Didn't see you there. Love to see how I make paper beads. Yeah, I make paper beads a little bit different than some other people do. I started doing live streams at work with Abby last January, so January of 2024, and I think one of our first videos was me making paper beads. And I used gel prints for those. So there's that. But yes, I will make one on this channel. Maybe that'll be my next live. I usually only do a live like once a month. I'm gonna try to get it to where it's like every other week or so. I just can't be on a schedule. And the only time I am available to go live is, kind of this time of night. But there's always a replay. So anyway, homemade plastic. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna get off of here now. Feel free to rewind and watch it if you came in late. I showed you how to do Neurographic Drawing My Way. I'm gonna finish this, and it'll be a week or so before I finish it. I'll post it in Makers for people to see. And if anybody followed along, I would love to see what you made with this too. And if you use the same word as I did, I'm gonna write right now. Beads. 3. What is today's date? 21/25. Okay, and then I'll sign it when I'm done. But yeah, so there is that. So okie dokie, thank you for watching, everybody. And I will see you next time. Live long and prosper. Bye.